Section 12 of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, translated by Courtney Langdon. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Inferno Canto 12. The Seventh Circle, the First Ring. Violence against one's fellow man. Murderers and Spoilers. Phlegethon.
The place, where to descend the bank we came, was Alp-like, and through what was also there, such that all eyes would be repelled by it. As is that downfall on the hither side of Trent, which sidewise smote the Adige, through earthquake or through failure of support; since from the mountain's summit, whence it moved down to the plain, the rock is shattered so, that it would yield a path for one above. Even such was the descent of that ravine; and on the border of the broken bank was stretched at length the infamy of Crete, who in the seeming heifer was conceived. And when he saw us there, he bit himself, like one whom inward anger overcomes. In his direction then my sage cried out,
Dost thou perhaps think Athens' Duke is here, who gave thee death when in the world above? Begone, thou beast, for this man cometh not taught by thy sister, but is going by in order to behold your punishments.
as doth a bull, who from his leash breaks free the moment he receives the mortal blow, and cannot walk, but plunges here and there. So doing I beheld the Minotaur, and he aware cried out,
Run to the pass, 'tis well that, while he rages, thou descend.
Thereat we made our way adown that heap of fallen rocks, which often 'neath my feet were moved, because of their unwonted load. I went along in thought, and he,
Perchance thou thinkest of this landslide, which is guarded by that beast's anger which I quenched just now. Now I would have thee know that, when down here to nether hell I came, that other time, this mass of rock had not yet fallen down. But certainly, if I remember well, not long ere he arrived who carried off from this the highest circle's mighty prey, on every side the deep and foul abyss so trembled that I thought the universe had felt the love whereby, as some believe, the world to chaos hath been oft reduced; and at that moment this old mass of rock was thus both here and elsewhere overthrown. But turn thine eyes down yonder now, for lo, the stream of blood is drawing near to us, wherein boils who by violence harms others.
O blind cupidity, O foolish wrath, that so dost in our short life goad us on, and after in the eternal steep us thus! I saw a wide moat curving in an arc, and such that it embraces all the plain, according as my escort had informed me. And in a file between it and the bank, centaurs were running by, with arrows armed, as in the world it was their wont to hunt. On seeing us descend they all stopped short, and 3 of them detached them from the troop, with bows and arrows they had chosen first. And one cried from afar,
Ye that descends the slope, to what pain are ye coming? Tell it from there, or else I draw my bow.
My teacher said,
Our answer we will give to Chiron yonder, when we reach his side. Thus ever to thy harm was thy will rash.
He touched me then, and said,
That one is Nessus, who died for lovely Deianira's sake, and who himself wrought vengeance for himself. The middle one, who gazes at his breast, is that great Chiron who brought up Achilles; the other Pholus, who so wrathful was. They go by thousands round about the moat, shooting each soul that from the blood emerges further than its own sin allotted it.
To those swift-footed beasts we then drew near. Chiron an arrow took, and with its notch backward upon his jaws he pushed his beard. When he had thus uncovered his great mouth, he said unto his mates,
Are ye aware that he who comes behind moves what he touches? Yet dead men's feet are not thus wont to do.
And my good leader, who now reached his breast, where the 2 natures are together joined, replied,
He lives, indeed, and thus alone must I needs show to him the dark abyss. Necessity is leading him, not pleasure. one who withdrew from singing praise to God, gave me this new commission. He is not a highwayman, nor I a robber's soul. But by the power through whom I move my steps along so wild a road, bestow on us one of thy troop at whose side we may be, and who may show us where one fords, and carry this man upon his back, for he is not a spirit who can travel through the air.
Upon his right breast Chiron turned, and said to Nessus,
Turn around and guide them thus, and if another troop should meet you, cause it to stand aside.
Then we with this safe escort skirted the edge of that red boiling stream, wherein the boiled were crying out aloud. I saw some people in it to their brows.
These tyrants are,
The mighty Centaur said,
who took to bloodshed and to plundering. Here tears are shed, because of heartless wrongs. Here Alexander is, and who for years grieved Sicily, fair Dionysus. The brow which has so black a head of hair is Azzolino, the other which is blonde, Obisso of Este, who in truth was quenched up in the world by his unnatural son.
I turned then toward the poet, but he said,
Be he now first to thee, and second I.
A little further on the Centaur stopped over some people who, it seemed, emerged out of that boiling river from their necks. On one side there a lonely shade he showed us, and said,
He yonder in God's bosom pierced the heart which still is honoured on the Thames.
Then people I beheld, who from the stream held out their heads, and even all their chest, and many did I recognize of these. Thus shallower and shallower became that blood, until it only cooked their feet. Here was the place for us to ford the ditch.
Even as thou seest that the boiling stream grows shallow more and more on this side here.
The Centaur said,
I wish thee to believe that on this other side its bottom sinks increasingly until it joins the place where it behoveth tyranny to groan. Justice divine is over here tormenting that Attila was a scourge on earth. Pyrrhus and Sextus and forever milks the tears which with the boiling it unlocks from Rinier da Corneto and Rinier Pazzo, who on the high roads waged so great a war.
He then turned back and crossed the ford again.
End of Inferno Canto 12.